What's happening, boxing? What's happening, YouTube? Amp about that boxing. I'm about to talk about the Kambosos versus Lomachenko. Man, this was an exciting night of boxing. This was a crazy night of boxing, and at some points, a confusing night of boxing. Before we get into it, please like, subscribe, hit the notifications, and share the content. I'm only going to go over the last 3 fights on the card. Let's start off with none other than Andrew Moloney versus Pedro Guevara. This was for the interim junior bantamweight title. Okay, so these guys is like super flyweights. Anyway, man, this fight was pretty exciting. Pedro Guevara pretty much shook up the game. He took it to Andrew Moloney on his home turf and pretty much put a beating on him. He took it to the body starting very early in the fight, man. He was just getting it off, and it seemed like Moloney couldn't stop it no matter what he was doing. He could not stop these body shots. He had success, but just not enough to pull this victory off. Team Moloney felt differently, and so did Moloney. As you can see here, Moloney was very disappointed. He looked like he has the face of, oh my God, I just been robbed. Look at that face. Look at Team Moloney, the guy behind him there in the picture. You can see he's like, no, and you know, so they thought Moloney won. I thought Moloney shouldn't have got one card gifted to him. I believe Pedro Guevara stuck to his great game plan. It was an awesome game plan. He comes in at 42-4-1 now. He dedicates his victory, and he is the WBC interim world super flyweight champion, by the way. And he dedicates this to his grandma, who passed on just recently. So man, big ups to Pedro Guevara on your victory, man. Rest in paradise to your grandmother, my brother. Let's keep it moving. Andrew Moloney got very upset to the point of where he retired on the spot and then dropped the F-bomb, and he bounced off the scene. He left, he dipped, he vacated the premises. Only thing was he vacated down the wrong hallway, so they had to redirect him around to his own hallway. And he was really upset, man. He really felt like he got robbed. I just didn't see it. I didn't see it as a split. I saw it as a unanimous decision for Guevara. They were being generous by giving Moloney one of those cards. What I mean by Australia's just having a terrible night of boxing here. This is one terrible night of boxing for Australians, period, is that Moloney's brother, Jason Moloney, also just lost his title. And that just happened the day before. So that's just crazy, man. So both of them are out of their titles. Now let's go ahead and get to the next bout here. This was Nina Hughes defending her Bantam World Championship against Chernika Johnson. This was a good fight. It was pretty exciting. In the early rounds, it seemed like Nina Hughes was doing a good job. She was lunging forward. She was putting a lot of work in, but then Chernika Johnson, like I said, I told y'all before, she has a little bit more experience. I felt that would pay off. I knew she was a dog with it. She came in there and she figured out to use that jab effectively. Now, this is crazy because first off, in the Guevara-Moloney decision, this guy here who's reading the scorecards, whose name is Lieutenant Dan Hennessy, if that tells you anything, the man's name is Hennessy. And he must have been on some because he read the cards wrong, not only for one bout, but 2 bouts. Now, in the first bout, he just read the numbers wrong and assigned it to the wrong guys. He gave the right guy the victory. Now, in this fight here, Mr. Hennessy proceeds to read the cards and give Hughes the victory. So Hughes was all excited that she had won the fight and kept her title and moved up to 7-0-0, when in fact, as he's getting ready to turn up out the ring, Hennessy turns around and says, oh, damn, my bad. And he proceeds to just start reading the cards. He tells the fighters to come back to the center of the ring. The commentating was so loud that I couldn't hear everything he was saying, but I heard him rereading the cards and then giving the victory over to Chernika Johnson. So that's how that ended up going, man. Whoever this guy is, they do not need to ever let him read scorecards again. Somebody take his keys. They should have not let him drive home. He definitely was hitting the sauce. He definitely was in the bottle. He definitely was tipping the fifth. He was doing his thing because he was just messing the scorecards up like crazy. Anyway, let's get ahead to the main event, which is Vasiliy Lomachenko and George, not so ferocious Kambosos tonight, I'm afraid. George Ferocious Kambosos got beat, and I mean he got beat bad. Lomachenko did everything I knew he would do. He was a better boxer. I told y'all, I like Kambosos, but man, on this level, he's not going to beat anybody as near as skilled as Vasiliy Lomachenko. I believe that his victory over Teofimo was semi-flukish. He got spanked, schooled, outboxed, out everything in this match that you could imagine being outed. Lomachenko fought a perfect fight against Kambosos. He had him figured out by the third round, I'll say. And then he just went to town on Kambosos, man. Kambosos spent his entire time defending himself. Once he got the cut, it got a little bit worse, but there was nothing this guy could do. He had a new trainer in his corner, whoever this guy was, another guy that was helping out that said he had Lomachenko's card. He had Loma figured out. And so that's where he was coming in the ring and being so confident. But when under pressure, George Kambosos just returned back to the original George Kambosos we know. He got on the back foot, even though he was having all of his success off the front foot. So when he was walking down Lomachenko and bagging Loma up, he was having more success, but he wasn't willing to put it on the line. And there was a certain point where I was telling my wife, this dude needs to just start slugging it out because he's not going to win this fight. He might as well go out on his shield. And instead, he gets dropped not once, but twice. And then Loma ends up stopping him. His corner, his dad ends up throwing in the towel. Shout out to his dad, seeing his son getting obliterated like that. Go ahead and throw the towel in, man. What can you do? Loma took it to the body. What did I tell y'all? Y'all could go watch the other video that I did right before the fight where I said that Loma was going to beat George Ferocious Kambosos. And I said, and possibly by KO in the championship rounds. Yep, that's what I said. So y'all could go check that out. Anyway, man, this was a great fight for Lomachenko, man. He's back in the game. Now, Loma moves up to 18-3-0. He is now the IBF World Lightweight Champion as well as the IBO World Lightweight Champion. George Kambosos goes home with nothing but a true ass whooping. That's what he took, and Loma delivered it to him. So big ups to Loma on his victory. Man, George Kambosos, man, I think there's levels to this, and you are just not at that level. I'm sorry, my friend. I do like George Kambosos. He's cool. I like his energy and everything, but he just doesn't have everything to come with that energy. You know, if you don't have everything, then you're not going to come out victorious on the super high scale level of the game. Anyway, y'all, that's pretty much what I got for this one. Let me know what y'all thought of the fight. What did you think of Lomachenko's performance? I don't think that this makes him like some super great guy because Kambosos Jr. has a level that he's at, and he's not going to change that. He's not adding new things to the game. He always ends up resetting back to his old self once he feels a certain type of pressure or a guy starts hitting him a few times. He just throws all his plans away and vacates him. So he's no longer a champion. Loma gets to give his son a belt. Great moment for Loma. We'll see what happens next as Gervonta Tank Davis is saying that he wants Loma after Frank Martin. So we'll see if that comes true. But right now, this is Lomachenko's moment. So let's give it to him, man. Great night of boxing, though, overall. Shout out to everybody that won and got those victories. And shout out to everybody that came there either defending or trying to take, man. Everybody did a great job. Everybody showed up like warriors, and we got a great night of boxing. Anyway, please like, subscribe. Let's get them notifications, man. Let's hit these likes, man. Let's get these likes up, please. That's all I got for this one. I'll be back with another one. And about that boxing.